Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the 49ers. In today's video, we'll be discussing the ongoing quarterback situation in San Francisco and how the addition of Sam Darnold is a hedge against Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. No organization in the NFL does quarterback controversies quite like the San Francisco 49ers. In fact, this is something that's been going on since the 80s, actually even the 1970s. Under Kyle Shanahan, though, questions about the quarterback position continue to linger over the organization despite reaching a Super Bowl and consecutive NFC Championship game appearances in the last 4 years. When the open tampering period of the NFL free agency period opened a month ago, the 49ers wasted little time adding another quarterback, Sam Darnold. Darnold's signing is all about two things for the 49ers, insurance and competition. First off, let's talk about the insurance. Signing Darnold's a smart move, considering Kyle Shanahan has been forced to use at least 3 quarterbacks during 4 of his 6 seasons in San Francisco. As a matter of fact, last season saw the 49ers go through 4 quarterbacks. Trey Lance suffered a fracture and ligament disruption in his ankle in Week 2 against Seattle. As a result, Lance has had to undergo a pair of surgeries. He just recently began throwing, and all signs point to him being cleared to join the team when on-field workouts begin in May. For Lance, the biggest issue with the injuries is that taking away playing time that would have been vital to his growth. San Francisco General Manager John Lynch discussed this when speaking to the media during the Combine back in March. Lynch said of Lance, "He just needs to play. You need to be out there. So often in our league, injuries stand in the way of a player improving. It's hard. You just start to conquer things so you can move on to the next thing, and boom, there's a setback." And that's been the biggest problem so far for Trey Lance. As for Brock Purdy, his timeline to return is much less clear. Purdy underwent what was deemed as successful surgery to repair the torn UCL in his throwing arm with an internal brace procedure back on March 10th. Purdy is expected to begin the throwing program around the early June time period. The quarterback will be working closely with the 49ers medical staff in Santa Clara throughout the recovery process, while also attending the offseason workout program. As a result of the Lance and Purdy injuries, Sam Darnold is the only quarterback under contract with the 49ers at this time who is even fully healthy. As for competition, having competition throughout the roster isn't anything new for the 49ers. In fact, John Lynch in a recent interview saying, "Competition's a great thing. It brings out the best in everyone, and it's something that we're always going to be striving to have a competitive environment with the 49ers." Prior to Purdy's injury in Philadelphia and the subsequent surgery, it was clear that although he was going to be the front runner, that there would be a quarterback competition between Lance and Purdy to see who would be the starting quarterback for San Francisco in 2023. During separate interviews on Media Row during Super Bowl week, both quarterbacks talked about looking forward to the opportunity to compete with one another. With Purdy's timeline to return unclear, Lance's primary competition will instead come from Darnold. Darnold gives the 49ers 3 young quarterbacks, 2 of whom were the 3rd overall pick in their draft class. The 3rd just missed out on being named Rookie of the Year this past season. The 3 quarterbacks on the 49ers roster right now count for a total combined hit of just over $14 million for this season. That's peanuts compared to what most teams are paying for their starting quarterbacks. The similarities between Lance and Darnold go beyond their draft slot. Turn on the film, and there are several plays where each showed their potential. On the other side, though, you can see plenty of instances where they show their lack of consistency. As for Darnold, he spent his first 5 seasons in the NFL playing for 4 different head coaches and 5 separate offensive coordinators. Now, he'll have the opportunity to try to unlock his potential under one of the top play callers in the NFL. As for Lance, he's finally going to have the opportunity to work with Christian McCaffrey. The running back seemed to help unlock San Francisco's offense back in October following a trade from the Carolina Panthers. Another wrinkle in all this is the possibility of Purdy returning ahead of schedule. It's not impossible for Purdy to be back on the field in time for most of training camp. Former 49ers quarterback Nick Mullins underwent the same internal brace procedure that Purdy underwent back in 2020. He was cleared just 5 weeks post-surgery. In this scenario, Purdy would be available to return to the 49ers around the 2nd week of August, with plenty of training camp remaining. If all 3 are healthy, training camp in San Francisco is going to be a sight to behold. Considering the age and contracts of Purdy, Lance, and Darnold, there's nothing holding the 49ers back from just rolling out the balls and letting the best man win. In fact, that's what you should be expected. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button. And then also, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, little bell notification, so you don't miss any of the 49ers content that comes out here on Inside the 49ers with Jack Hammer. Again, I thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking with you all again soon. Take care, everybody.